Okay, cool. Well, that's a good interlude. I'd love to jump into kind of the Scynce product lines here. You guys have three main product lines. You got the Dragon series, the Raging Kale series, and the Raging Kush series. So, at a high level, what's kind of the difference between these? Who are they for? And then we'll dive a little bit deeper into them.
Sure, yeah. So we'll start with the Raging Kush line. That's a 3 bar light. That's kind of what everybody's used to seeing. You don't throw a multi-bar light out on the market. That light really it has two different ways, and I'm sure we're going to jump into the optics later that it's sold. But it has a 120-degree optic on a 70-degree optic. That kind of changes how that light is placed. The 70-degree gets a little more distance from it. The 120 is great for up close, tight racking tank growers. We don't have a lot of space. That 120 kind of evens that out. But really what that light does is it brings the optimal spacing of our optics to the game already pre-put together for you. So those light bars, the way that we play with the optics is it's all about crossing beams and all about getting that light further into the canopy. So the Raging Kush is kind of that first layout that's like, hey, here's 3 lights at the right spacing. We're going to have nice, even lighting. And the difference between the 170 and the 120 is how far away from that canopy do you want to be. So that's kind of like the nice jump in. And that was also our first one that had the full spectrum tuning on it. That was our first one that you could really play with the reds and really play with everything else. So then secondarily, we have the kale line, the Raging Kales, which is basically 1 bar of that Kush broken out. So these are all 120 style lights. Normally we suggest them for veg. We have the Raging Kale 2 and the Raging Kale 2 Plus. The neat thing about the 2 Plus is it also has the red diodes in it where the standard Kale doesn't. It's more of a veg light where you're not playing with those far reds, because when you get into the far reds, you're getting a lot into, internode play and really kind of change the morphology. So without those reds, it's a basic veg light. Really one of my favorite lights that we have to use. Fantastic for clones, great for early veg, great for throwing a couple in a tent, keeping your power supply down, especially with the Kale 2 Plus with the reds coming in. That really makes it a full run light, where the Kale 2 itself is more of a veg only kind of solution. Again, those have the 120 lenses on them, so those stay nice and close to your canopy. So again, tight spaces is really great. We also can use them. The engineers have come up with amazing new tech to turn them into under canopy lighting. So if you flip them, they got these nice little racks that'll hold them so you get the under canopy lighting. We've also seen them used as side lighting in grows because they're really a versatile, slap it up, easy to play with, easy intro to the technology, because as I'm talking about all this, important to keep in mind, all these lights are spectrum tunable through the app that's free with the purchase of the light. So these are all very changeable lights. So they're great little tools in the toolkits. And then now it brings us around to the Dragon Alpha series. And this is really your high bay, commercial kind of style. I've certainly grown with them in 4x3 tents, and they're great for that as well, but they're really set up for large facilities. And so the Dragon Alpha 2 has those 70-degree lenses on it. So it's a great high bay light. You can stack them out, and they do that cross beaming like I was talking about earlier, really nice. Depending on your PPFD needs, you can space those lights how you need. Again, full spectrum control, all that fun stuff with the reds. A lot of neat tricks we can play with those. The Alpha 3, the Dragon Alpha 3, which is our newest addition to the group, is really a redesign of the Alpha 2. We've stacked more diodes in there. They still have those 70-degree lenses. The Alpha 2 has a fan. The new Alpha 3 is passive cooling, no fan on that. And it has our new kind of wired connectivity, so it can be wireless or wired depending on your facility needs. And then they all kind of link back to that old tech of being able to spectrum tune. So the Alpha 3 is really the newest to the group.
Okay, sweet. So the Alpha 3 is more for the commercial growers, and the other two can kind of be used more for the hobbyist, I guess you could say.
Yeah, if you're talking hobbyist, it's all about the Raging Kale, Raging Kush, and that's really where I'd stick your average hobbyist. But again, like I said, if you have a room, we'll have guys run Dragon Alpha 2s if they have an 8-foot table with a small room. So depends on your level of hobby.